is live.
Mm-hmm. Why, you see it on the YouTube?
Yeah, I just got the notification. Just the first one on there.
Okay. Shalom. 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 Shalom, Sister Jetta. Shalom, Patrick. Shalom, Misty. Shalom, Sajan.
Make sure these brothers get.
All right, give us a second. We're gonna get some more people in here, and then we'll start to we'll get into the scripts, because I know that's what you want. Should be what you want. Karataza. Shalom. Yardan. Shalom.
Oh, do I got a pen?
Put the eggnog down. Stop wrapping gifts, Israel. I thought we don't do Christmas. Hey, that's what they doing.
They wrapping gifts.
They sitting around a Yule log. Okay. Shalom, Brother Glenn. Shalom, Demetrius. Shalom, JH125. Therese, Nikki, Big Ma, Sherman, Awakening Sister, Papa, Mike Nix, Just Teach, Lioness Heart. Shalom, Israel.
So this what happened in your apocryphal.
This is what Apocrypha is supposed to look like. Oh, look at this. You did that on purpose.
No, I didn't.
That's just from putting it in your book bag wrong. You don't use that book. Shalom. Shalom, shalom, Israel. We're trying to let y'all get in this call. Salakia. We're trying to let y'all get in the live. Oh, but if the people want to talk to us, call it to the class number. Somebody post the class number. Yeah, we'll talk to you. Why not? Hey, you want that? We'll talk to you. Somebody post the class number. Shema Mashiach Yahushua. This is my phone when you come back. Call hello Yahweh Ba Shema Mashiach Yahushua Barakatam. My Facebook account is Yahweh Alban Yahweh. YAW''AL. Yeah. Israel, if you want to talk to us, call into the class number. We about to go into class right now. Somebody post the number in the chat, the class number, so you can build with us, because we got some info we want to get into. Go to the book of Esther 2 and 16. After that. Ain't nobody on? Post the number in the chat. Whoever knows the number to the call, post it in the chat. We'll talk to you. We'll answer questions tonight.
What you saying? What you want to answer?
2 and 16. Con, we'll answer questions tonight, but you got to call into the class number. It ain't that number.
It's the same.
Somebody called in? All right. The class number is this. All right, I put the number and the code. If you want to ask questions, you want to talk to us, we dealing with the call in. You got to call in. We can't do it through the G chat. All right, we're gonna give the call in priority. If you can't call in, let us know. We'll figure out something. I paid $69 just to come in the call. Why you do that? The call is free. If you can't call in, it's probably because of your cell phone provider. You definitely shouldn't pay that much for the call. The call is free. But if you can't call in, it's probably because of your cell phone provider. You could log on via the internet. Okay? If y'all didn't know that. And talk to us through your computers. Let me get that number. Hold on.
Who called in? Who we got on the line right now? I heard somebody call in. Okay, kind of. Shalom, Shalom, sister.
All right. I'm going to give y'all the how to get on via the internet. Hold on 1 second.
Con, we can hear you.
Now, here's how you join online, y'all. If you're on a computer. All right. I just posted it in the chat. To the meeting ID is Sons of Thunder Israelites. The water, brother Yaradan.
The water.
So if you want to log on via the computer,
Shalom.
if you watching this on YouTube, you could log on via the computer right there. If you're unable to call in, but we're gonna take questions. We're gonna take questions mainly from the call in. We hear you, brother. Shalom, sister. Yeah, we're gonna take questions mainly from the call in. Can you hear me talking, brother? No, we got a lesson first, then we're gonna do questions. All the questions are gonna come through the phone call. So stay on the line, all right? Okay, all praises, all praises. All right, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshai Barakatham, Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala, Ashar, Kadash, Yarat, Happy New Moon. All right, I tell y'all all the time, the new moon is a feast that we're supposed to be joyous and get together, congregate, and have a good time. Y'all supposed to feast, y'all supposed to eat, y'all supposed to make merriment. The Most High sent us a new moon every month for us to remember to come back together to serve Him, to gather together, and to be joyous together. All right, that's what y'all supposed to do on these new moons. All right, we're going to go through the new moons scriptures, and then it's a couple things I just wanted to talk about. All right, some updates, and then we're going to take some questions. And we're going to let y'all get back to whatever y'all was doing on this night, on this wicked Christmas Eve, this fake holiday, this fantasy, imaginary birthday of Yahweh Shai, which is nowhere in the Bible. Okay, we're going to get back to that. Shalom, Brother Marcus. All right, I want everybody to turn to the book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 16. All right, Esther 2 and 16. When everybody have it, say Khan. Okay, all praises, all praises. Brother Chris, I want you to read that loud and strong. Esther chapter 2, verse 16.
Con. It's the book of Esther, chapter 2 and verse 16. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his house royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign.
So the 10th month, you can find the name of it in the book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 16. We've been doing this with you every month. If you go into the Sons of Thunder Israelites YouTube and you backlog and look at all of our new moons for this year, we have named every month for you and where to find it in the scriptures. There's only one month that's not found in the scriptures. I think maybe two. I would have to go back and check. Here's where you find the name of the 10th month. All right? Tabath. All right? In the King James, they call it Tebeth. Well, we're going to go look at it in the Paleo Hebrew to understand how to say it. All right? Everybody hang tight on the live. All right? We're going to add a different screen. Okay? So that you can see it in the Hebrew. I want y'all to see it in the Hebrew. Just hang tough while I situate this extra screen so that I can show you this date in the Hebrew. All right? So here you see the Paleo Hebrew for Esther chapter 2, verse 16. If you want to find this, you go to HebrewOldTestament.com. All right? HebrewOldTestament.com. It's going to look like this as soon as you get here. You can go to every book in the Old Testament and you can see the Paleo Hebrew. So we went to Esther chapter 2 and then we went to verse 16. Here you have the Paleo Hebrew for the verse 16 of Esther chapter 2. All right? You should learn these characters and how to pronounce them. Here is the word for our month. Okay? Tabath. Tabath. All right? This is ta, ba, and this is tha. Tabath. All right? Hawa Kadash. All right? Tabath. That's why when you read it in the King James, they call it Tebeth when they bring it over into the English. All right? So now that you've seen it and know where to find it, I want y'all to get acquainted with doing that. All right? So y'all can become skillful in pronouncing our language from the origin. All right? Like when we wear the Paleo Hebrew on our mitris and on our armbands, on our shirts. Brothers wear it on their shirts, their jackets. That's where we find how to pronounce the name of the 10th month. It's Tabath. All right? And Esther chapter 2 and verse 16 is how we narrowed that down. Okay? The new moon is a feast day. Go to the book of Psalms. And it's a commandment. You have to keep the new moon. We teach you. We teach you this every month. All right? And start at verse 3. Brothers had to work hard today. We teach you this every month. So you should know these scriptures and be acquainted with them, but there's always going to be someone new that doesn't know. The water, brother Blaylock. All right, we'll try our best to keep up the good work.
The water.
All right, read that. Psalms 81 and 3.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 3. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed, on our solemn feast day.
So the new moon is a feast day. Come on.
For this was a statute for Israel.
And it's a statute.
And a law of the God of Jacob.
And it's a law. It's a commandment. You have to keep the new moon. The Most High has to make it a law for you to go and be happy, celebrate, and eat good. He got to make it a law for you to do it because we won't. But you know how many people are keeping a feast that has nothing to do with the Most High tonight and tomorrow? Millions and millions of people. Millions and millions of Israelites are keeping a feast that has nothing to do with them, when this is a feast that we're supposed to have right now, as it is written. All right? This is our new moon. All right? When you look outside, you ain't going to see the moon in the sky. The brother's going to say, how you going to keep the new moon? Ain't no moon in the sky. Because when we go into the Hebrew and when we go into the scriptures and we look at the context, the new moon is when the moon is beginning its phases. That is when the moon is new. The scripture I read was Psalms 81, 3 through 4. That is when the moon is new. When it's beginning, it's phases. Go to Sirach chapter 43. Yeah, we gotta go. We're gonna move through this because we teach this to them every month, and they should know this. They have multiple. They have 9 other new moons to watch. Okay, that are posted on our channel. I want you to start at verse 6.
Call
This
is the book of Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 6.
Now we're going to use this to show you why we see the new moon as the dark moon. Brothers teach that when the moon was created in the book of Genesis, it was new. Therefore, the new moon is when the moon is shining in its brightness. And I understand why they're saying that, but we know that Hebraically that cannot be backed up. And Priest Zabak was teaching it. When you're strong in your understanding, it doesn't matter what doctrine comes around, you solid. It's not going to sway you. No, I'm going to hold fast to that which I already have until Yahushua comes. All right? There's no penalty of death in me keeping the new moon my way and brothers keeping the new moon their way. What the point is that they keep the new moon. That is the point. We got to mature to that level as Israelites and let go of the side talk. Let go of the condemnation of our brothers, because these nations are destroying us and they are confederate against us. And we have no time to be confederate against each other. My clique versus your clique. My camp versus your camp. That's old news. That's over with. We're not dealing with that anymore. That's corny now. That's corny now. Let's make that corny now. All right? We're just going to teach our understanding, and those who see it, you study with us. If you see it with the other brothers, you study. Hey, you can still study with us. But we're going to teach you our understanding as was delivered to us by our elders. Read that.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 6.
Come on.
He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world.
The moon is supposed to serve as a declaration of seasons and times. All right? You're supposed to follow the moon. That's how you know what month you're in. When the new moon comes in, that's the beginning of your month. Okay? That is the beginning of your month. That's why the feast days are the 4th day of the 10th month, the 14th day of the 1st month. That's the way we do things. We call the month and we call the day. All right? It's not January, February, March. That does not exist in the Bible. All right? That's the Gregorian calendar. We wasn't dealing with that. We look to the moon. It's a new moon. That's the beginning of our month. Go ahead.
From the moon is the sign of feast.
Mm-hmm.
A light that decreaseth in her perfection.
She decreases in her perfection. Other brothers see that the opposite way. They see, she decreaseth in her perfection. When she's perfect, she's full. So the new moon got to be the full moon. No. Read on.
This month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing.
And that is the key. The moon increases wonderfully as it changes. So as the moon changes, it increases. So while the moon is changing, it is moving towards the full. So how did it begin? It began as the dark moon. I'm going to help you. I'm going to answer that for you. And that's the way we see it. And that's the way we justify. When you go into the Hebrew, you're never going to see, when you see Kadash Yarak, that's holy moon. But when the Bible describes the water. Thank you very much. When the Bible describes the moon as bright and shining, it's never called Kadash Yarak, holy moon. So there's a different word for bright and beautiful moon and the holy moon. Why is that? If the full moon is the holy moon, it's the same thing, right? So those are the factors in our understanding why we say the dark moon is the new moon. Whether you like to understand it, believe it or not. Hey, when Yahushua returns, he's going to make all things clear. Right. All arguments are going to be put to bed. And hopefully then we can see eye to eye, because that's what the Psalms say. Go to Psalms 54. I'm incorrect. Hold on. I am incorrect. Then shall the watchmen lift up their voice together. I don't want to look it up. I want to find it in my Bible. I don't want to look it up. I can find it. Somebody that has the precept, call it in. For then shall thy watchmen lift up thy voice together. Ooh, it's escaping me. Nobody knows it? All right, I'm going to have to look it up. Salakia, Israel, I don't know everything, okay? Let me see if I was right, if it's in the Psalms. It might have been Isaiah. It might have been Isaiah. It's Isaiah 52 and 8. I thought it was the Psalms. Somebody said Salakia. Yeah, I call Psalms 54, right? Mm-hmm. Close but no cigar. But now I'm never going to forget. That's what's part of marking up your Bible, right? And repetition through study. That's how you learn. Even I have to study and oh man, there's brothers in Israel that are dictionaries with precepts. They never have to look it up. They know it off the top of their mind. And I aspire to be like them. Even for all my teaching, I aspire to be like them. So I continue to practice and put energy in. Isaiah 52 and 8. Please read that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 52 and verse 8.
Come on.
Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice. With the voice together shall they sing. For they shall see eye to eye when the Lord shall bring again Zion.
That's when we're going to see eye to eye when the Most High brings back Israel into power anyway. We're not going to agree on this side. But just because we don't agree on this side, does that change this scripture? Zephaniah 2 and 1. Right. Just because we don't agree on this side, does this scripture stop being relevant? Does it stop being a command? This is not a suggestion. This is a command. And we're going to teach this till the kingdom comes. All right? We're going to teach this forever. They're going to have to take it out the Bible for me to stop teaching this. Read again. Zephaniah 2 and 1.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1.
Come on.
Gather yourselves together.
What you supposed to do?
Gather yourselves together.
The most beautiful thing in all Israel will be all the one West camps to come together at one place and be brothers together. Take that huge picture. A great day in Israel. I fantasize about that day. I don't know you brothers to hate you and dislike you. I don't care what you teach. You on my team. The other nations, all of them, all 17 are confederate against us.
That's right.
We have no business being against each other. It's nonsense and it's stupid. It's time to grow out of it. You ain't got to move brothers in your house. You ain't got to take the shirt off your back and give it to the other brother, even though in some cases you should. You don't got to do all that. All you got to do is be brothers, man. You see another Israelite, you salute that man and prefer him above all else. Don't matter if he's in your camp or not. Grow past that beefs of your elders. Move past that. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You wasn't even there. A lot of you watching now that carry on these motifs of other niggas is beneath you and they some niggas and we the Israelites and they just black demons that's going to be destroyed. You didn't learn that through osmosis, brother. You learned that from your elders. They taught you that. You wasn't even around when they was acting like that. Because let me hit you with something. All the elders of the major camps used to be brothers together. That's right. And I'll find the pictures then where they sat at the same table together. When one brother that's your elder was reading for another camp's brother that's their elder. But you act like you don't know nothing about that. You ain't do that research. You follow what you like. And what you like is death and destruction. Because the other nations are killing us wholesale and protecting each other while they do it. And y'all are carrying on the beefs that have nothing to do with you. The same thing the gangs do when they claim a block. None of you bought that block, but you claim the block. And you'll kill over the block, but you don't even live there. That's how y'all are behaving in Israel. And until you put that down, every time I come on alive, this is going to be a part of my lesson, man. You know, Yahushua said every time you come together, do this in remembrance of me. Mm-hmm. He gave you something to remember. Something you call to mind every time brothers gather. Well, something we should also call to mind, and before niggas get stupid, I am not saying that what I'm saying is equal or anywhere in the ballpark of what Yahushua taught. It's not what I'm saying. I got to say that.
You got to.
I have to, because people get simple. What I'm saying is as much as we come together, as much as we go to camp, as much as we sit down and feast, let's bring it up. We need to be brothers together. And if you're not mature enough to teach it, I'll teach it for you. We need to be brothers together. All that nonsense is over with. You ain't got to, look, man, people do wrong to people and you don't forget it. and you be wary of that person. But you do not call for the disassociation of that brother and his whole organization just because you don't like him. We're not doing that. We're going to be brothers together. Them Jew boys came together in Jersey City, and they about to take the whole place over. They've already renamed it because they can come together like that. And I know they all don't like each other. Esau don't like Esau. Esau hate Esau. But they work together for money and for the destruction of our people, man. So what I'm saying is, can we just come together as brothers and put our differences aside when it comes to being brothers and show no division amongst us as a nation? And then you can go be in your camp and keep your custom the way that you like to keep it. As long as when you see that other Israelite, you show respect and love, because that's a fellow heir and priest. All right?
The water.
So, Salakia for asking questions. So to understand fully, a waning crescent is the beginning of the new moon, correct? No. The new moon is new when it's dark in the sky. Waning crescent is the sliver, and we're not seeing that. When you say new moon, that's when there's no moon in the sky, when it's in its infancy. Good question. The water for everything y'all do. The water to you also for what you do. Thank you. Y'all keep this going, man. And another thing, we're going to have camp tomorrow, Christmas camp. We're going to be out there trying to rain on Esau's parade, man. All right? What else you going to do? I'm not going to sit in the house with y'all unwrapping gifts. Okay? That's the new moon. The brother sent the calendar. Some of y'all in the house wrapping gifts right now with fringes on. Drinking eggnog. Talking about it's for the kids. Yeah, right. See, the Most High is a mastermind. He gave you the new moon on so-called Christmas Eve. You don't have to want for nothing. You don't have to miss out on nothing. The Most High thinks of everything, man. Just serve him. All right? Let's get back into the scriptures real quick. So the new moon is a commandment. All right? We're going to be keeping the new moon until the cows come on. Give me Isaiah 66. All right? A lot of people say, why is it relevant? The water be hobby. Thank you very much. A lot of people say, why is it relevant to keep the new moon? This is just a shadow of things to come. There's nothing that Paul ever taught that trumps what the Most High says. Some people don't like that. There's nothing that Paul taught that trumps what the Most High says. Understand that. Right. So if you read in Paul's letters and you think it's counter doctrine to what the Most High has taught, you're reading wrong.
You need to go back to the law.
You need to go back to the law, because Paul told you he kept the law blameless. And he boasted in that thing.
He said he didn't teach anything different from what the law or the prophets are saying.
That's it. That's the only thing he taught. You could get that in Acts 24, Acts 26. It'll show you that. That's right. To hell with Christmas, Brother DeQuinn. What the hell you want some fat white man to sneak in your house at night and give gifts to your kids? What are you doing? You leaving cookies out for him. What is that? Sodomite activity.
Santa's a whole nother guy. He sees you when you're sleeping.
And he knows when you're awake.
Knows when you've been bad again.
So be good for goodness sake. But what about being good for the Most High?
Right.
Idolatry, madness. Give me Isaiah 66 and 22. You already know.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66 and verse 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain.
Because the Most High don't want your name blotted out of Israel. You're supposed to live eternally. It was not God's design for you to die, but through sin we die. Taught you that in the Ecclesiasticus. Read on.
And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another,
come on,
shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahweh.
So you're going to keep the new moon whether you like it or not, because in the kingdom we're going to be doing this thing, man. In the kingdom we're going to be keeping the new moon. It was set up for you to keep. So anybody telling you or discouraging you from it is coming from a place of ignorance, because they're not aware of our customs that we're supposed to keep. All right? A lot of people are in their ignorance, and they think they're wise in their own ignorance, and that's the danger. The white man has given, through seminary school, a breakdown and understanding of the scripture. Our priests and pastors, learned men, I'm not going to act like they all dumb and stupid. They're not. These are learned men, speak multiple languages, very good with business. These men become preachers and pastors, and they take the knowledge that they got from seminary school and they teach it to you. and they're puffed up because they feel like they know something. But the Bible says if a man has to become like a baby, he has to become like a child. The Bible says there are times when we teach, but we ought to be taught again the first principles. And it all takes us back to the law. So anybody that's not pushing the law, statutes, and commandments has no understanding. This is what the Bible teaches you. A good understanding have all they that you know the scripture. See what I'm dealing with.
I was looking at the comments.
I know. A good understanding have all they that what?
From the law.
That read the Psalms 111 and 10, brother. Hey, I'm gonna get on this. This is one of my soldiers. You know, this is a brother that is joined the camp because he wants to learn the Bible. He wants to learn the scriptures, and he wants to become a teacher. You understand that? That's why he's reading for me. You know, the brother wants to get better with the Bible. He has a diligent spirit. Read.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments.
So that's what I'm asking you. A good understanding have all they that what?
Do his commandments.
That's right. So if they're not teaching the law, statutes, and commandments, they have no understanding. And I want y'all to learn that, Israel. All right? And part of the law is bear no grudge against thy neighbor. But you shall love your brother as yourself and hold no grudge against him. I'll paraphrase, but you know that's the scripture. Leviticus, all right? Well, guess what? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, all the way down to Naphtali, we are all brothers and neighbors, but we dividing ourselves amongst our camps. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Israel should be together, all right? Yeah, we can disagree on different things, but even the United States do that. They all United States, but all the governors and all the mayors have different opinion and different opinion, but they come together for one united front and represent the same banner. Right. But Israel can't figure that out. That's why we're not off here yet. How's the Most High going to take us and put us in his army, give us spiritual power, and let us go destroy the nations if we hate each other? If the Most High put his spirit on you to make you strong, we're going to read some of those scriptures. To make you strong, you're going to take your strength and go use it against your brother because you hate him. And then the Most High got to kill you. You understand? This is nonsense and this is foolishness. What we got to do is come back to these law, statutes, and commandments. And it is a law in Jacob to keep the new moon. All right? We're going to put this oven on. I got some good food to eat. We're going to listen to some music. We're going to drink some strong drink. We're going to be merry. All right? And then we're going to go out and have camp and rebuke Esau all day. And then we're going to be merry again. This is what we do together as brothers, man. All right, Israel? Don't let nobody turn you away from the truth. Vocab alone, doing videos, trying to connect us to the Jersey shooting. Why do you think he want to do that? They talking about us on the Breakfast Club on Hot 97. Why you think they doing that? The churches are banning us from coming in and reasoning with them. Why you think they want to do that? They persecuting you at your job because you're an Israelite. You want to wear your fringes. Why you think they want to do that? Because this is the truth. As brothers flow into this thing and pour into this thing and get built up in the spirit and turn to the Most High, that's the cause. The effect would be the fall of Esau's kingdom. I tell you all the time, you need somebody on the inside to destroy the Israelite movement. So unity is the answer. The Bible told you need a Judas to bring down the movement. But even if it's still of God, it cannot be destroyed or stopped. Right. And that's why we're pushing the word until this very day. Give me Ezekiel 46 and 3.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 46 and verse 3. Likewise, the people of the land shall worship at the door of his gates.
Come on.
Before the Lord in the Sabbaths and in the new moon.
This is a future prophecy about the kingdom. You're going to worship the Lord when?
In the Sabbaths and in the new moon.
See that? So if we're going to do it in the kingdom of God, why we can't do it here? All right? That's why we're here with your new moon lesson. Because, we used to get questions. What do you need the new moon for? Why are you doing that for? What purpose does it serve? You know what it serves? We trying to build up our spirit to, like, things vibrate on a frequency, right? And I ain't going to get spaced out. We got to be on the same frequency, Israel, as the Most High. All right? So he can be in tune with us. He can't do that if we're on a different wavelength. You understand? He can't vibe with you. So we got to get on the same frequency as the Most High. So we have to recognize the customs he's given us. You do not know the purpose of why the Most High has a new moon. Yeah, it's set up to tell you the times and the seasons, but you don't know the spiritual purpose behind why the Most High has all his people come together at this time. Right? He made the sun, moon, and the stars, but when the moon is dark, he said, I want all y'all to come together and worship me on this time. Why? You don't know yet, but just do it so that you can be in tune with the Most High so that he can deal with you. All right? You don't know why the Most High requires sacrifice. You don't know why the Most High allowed Yahushua to die. You don't know why the Most High chose Israel above all nations. Why you blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics got melanin. You the most beautiful people, got the most beautiful women, got the best tasting food. You don't know why he put all that flavor and pizzazz into you, but he did it. So just get in tune with his program and all things will be made clear to you in the future. You know? Israel requires a sign. It's like we need a reason to serve the Most High. Like my breath in my lungs is not enough, man. There's gifts waiting for you. Give me Zechariah 12 and 8. That's right. Our thoughts are not his thoughts.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 12 and verse 8.
What does it say?
In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
In that day the Most High is going to defend us, man. He's defending us now. They're coming together with propaganda to destroy the Israelites. We teach camp out in the open, showing our face for decades. We ain't put nobody to death. Nope. We're not bombing buildings. We're not stabbing people. We're not shooting people. We out there cutting and stabbing with the Bible. For decades, and they seen us. We're not hiding. We're not like the Klan cowards that cover their faces and then burn a cross in your yard and then sit up in the court and he's the judge and you don't know that. We're not playing with you like that. He's the police officer that's pulling you over that's about to shoot you for nothing and you don't know that. No, it's me out there from 5 Points. Remember me? It's me. That's how we live, man.
Right.
We represent for this thing. All right? Give me Zechariah 12 and 8, man. Most High going to defend us.
Time. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
Come on.
And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David.
Future prophecy, the feeble amongst us is going to be strong as David. The feeble amongst us, that means the lame in their feet. The brothers who have disease and sickness, but they stayed in their righteousness. The Most High is going to bless them with power. The feeble amongst us is going to be strong as David. That's future prophecy. Y'all don't really believe the Bible, though. The Bible has become cliche. A lot of people worship the Most High. I'd rather just say I believe in God, so when it's all over with, if I was right, I'm good. And if I was wrong, it don't matter no way. That's not faith. That's not faith. You wouldn't want to be with a woman that said that about you. Right. And we the bride. We the Most High's bride. You wouldn't want to be with no woman that say, I'm only with him because, I think he might come into some money later.
I see some potential.
Yeah, I don't really want to be with him, but he might come into some money later. So I'm going to just say that I love him. If he gets the money, I'll be with him. And if he don't get it, I'll just ignore him. You would never deal with that woman. Some of you would, you low life brothers. But you would never deal with that woman. When we the Most High's bride, you think you want to deal with us? And that's how our love is towards him? And we love you too, Yallah, Israel. Much love. We need the love because this world hates us. So we need the love. We need to love each other. All right? Imagine the new moon in the kingdom, man. David, Moses, Elijah, all sitting in the high seat. Abraham, Nehemiah, Jeremiah, all recognized for their sacrifice. Paul, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, right? And Yahushua in the center. Angels shining the light on him. All right? And the Most High got the Most High got the sky lit up like it's bright, but it's nighttime. Because he's dwelling amongst us. Right? His glory got the whole place lit up. See the stars at the same time. Visualize. Broad daylight, but just like you can see the moon in the daylight, now the Most High got it, you see the stars in the daytime. Amazing. Y'all don't think about stuff like that. Because y'all don't really care. But we care. We really hope this happens and have hope. That's faith. Hope for things unseen. We really want this. Read it again.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 12 and verse 8.
Come on.
In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David.
Man, I'm feeble, man. I'm feeble, man. I'm not a Shaq. I'm not a middle NFL middle linebacker. I'm a regular man. But in that day, I'll be like with the strength of David. You know, David could bend iron, man. Most High taught his fingers to war. The Most High gave David strength to rip a lion's mouth open, man, and gave him accuracy and skill to bring down Goliath with a stone and a sling. Threw it so hard it was like a bullet. Yo, man, I want that power, especially to bring down the nations. Come on.
And the house of David shall be as the Most High.
But the house of David, the Israelites together, when we unify, we're going to be like God. That's how difficult it would be to face us. We fight with God. When the Israelites come together in unity and brotherhood, it's like fighting against God. But it's up to you. Read on.
As the angel of Yahweh before them.
Yeah, we're going to be like the angel of the Lord, man. All right? Come on.
And it shall come to pass in that day.
What will happen?
That I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem.
Now, I want somebody to tell me that scripture don't say that.
No, but they don't mean that.
What a submission motif. It just means the nations will submit. No. Read it again.
And it shall come to pass in that day.
Yes.
That I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem.
And that's what I'm saying, brothers. If you really want that to come to pass, part of it is becoming brothers again and being joyful together and serving the Most High together. All right? There's no parent that wants his children to come on different days. You know, I don't like my brother, so I'm going to come see you on tomorrow, Pop, because I know my brother's going to be there, so I don't like him. So I'm going to come see you tomorrow. The father don't want that. He want both his sons there. Mm-hmm. The mother don't want one daughter. She want both her daughters there. Well, I don't like my sister, so I'm going to come 2 days from now. Well, all the other 3 sisters, they could be there. That's fine. What mother wants that? She want all her children together. And that's what the Most High wants. That's what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai wants. All right? He wants all his children to come together in unity. Psalms 133 and 1.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 133 and verse 1.
Read.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
It is beautiful when brothers dwell together in unity. Read it again.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head.
It is like the what?
It is like the precious ointment upon the head.
It's like the precious ointment upon the head. Come on.
That ran down upon the beard.
That runs down upon the beard. Come on.
Even Aaron's beard.
So there's the unity is so beautiful because Aaron is the high priest. Unity is so precious. It's like the anointing oil that ran down Aaron's beard. You probably touch that oil and it healed your entire body. Right?
Right.
You touch that oil, and it probably heal all your infirmities and everyone you touch until it dries up. If you be spiritual, if you think about stuff like this, you know, I'm not trying to. Can I talk like that?
See, brother, this is why I don't read that Bible.
Yeah, it's spooky, man.
Like
it's
like
spooky.
A fairy tale.
Yeah, we deal with faith, man. We love this. All right, read on.
That went down to the skirts of his garments.
That's what happened when Canal poured the oil on us. He overdo it, and the oil run down your face, man. Land on your shirt. And we're not using oil. We're using some fragrant oil that Icarab has. So now you're smelling like it for 2 days. All right, your pillows smell like it because it was in your hair. You know, you try to rinse it out, it ain't coming out. Come on.
As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion.
Fresh, pure water. Come on.
For there the Lord commanded the blessing.
The Lord commanded this blessing, which is?
Even life forevermore.
That's what we're hoping for, man. We get old and die, man. We don't understand that thing. We don't understand what is existence. We don't understand what it means to be. We just know we live and we die. And we try to fit in some happiness while we're here on this level. But guess what our experience is as blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics? Oppression.
Yeah.
Everybody else born into this life got their own God, got their own land, do whatever the hell they want. But there's this bully walking around the earth, this redback devil. And he's telling you, hey, I'm in charge. Not your God. Okay, I like your God. But you can't worship him unless he look like me. Right. Is that what it was to live and die? Is that what it was to exist? Just to be underneath this devil's thumb forever? No. Prophecy says that's not the way. But y'all don't believe the scriptures and y'all trying to climb up every other way. Give me John 10 and 1. Alayishas Shemai Yisrael. I find it funny that you say the white man dubbed it the dark moon, but your name is Yisrael. Who taught you that? Read on, brother. Read on.
This is the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way.
Y'all are trying to climb up another way, man. Come on.
The same is a thief and a robber.
The same is a thief and a robber. You're trying to steal the kingdom, but the Most High gives the kingdom. He gives the kingdom. You cannot steal it. He gives it to whom. The Bible says he gives dominion to whomever he wishes. All right. Now I want to talk about something. Those are your new moon scriptures. All right. In the 10th month, Tabath. Now I want to talk about something. This month, the Hebrew Israelites were demonized by the press. Alayisha, we don't care. Either you're here for the lesson or you're not. But don't debate in the comments. All right. We just went over. If you disagree, it don't matter. But we disagree with you. But what you can prove through scripture, just call in later. Don't do it in the comments. Don't distract the people. Please, brother. Now, the Israelites have been demonized by the press this month. But I told you a counter story. I told you how them same white boy Jews who are crying bloody murder because 2 of their people got shot, but a Puerto Rican got killed too. Mm-hmm. Nobody talking about him. They come together with the mayor of New York to make a hostile takeover of Jersey City to buy the property. It's a money move. They're using your sympathy to make a money move, man. Amalek has been using your sympathy for a long time. How long has he been riding the wave of the Holocaust? We can't even talk about slavery. That's just outdated. That's just irrelevant. But he's been talking about the Holocaust for a long time, moving you to sympathy. So much so that America spends $8 billion a year to protect them as they do a hostile takeover of the Holy Land. Because they're not from there.
You say anything against the Holocaust, they mad.
They mad. You can't be on TV. You can't be in the music. You can't make no money because they own everything. But they don't own this truth.
Right.
And they know they don't own this Bible. You never see Amalek stand against us with the scripture. The first thing he tries to say is that Hebrew? Are you reading that in Hebrew? See, you do not have the real Bible. I say, well, hold on. And we go and get Elder Karataziala from HODC, and we bring him down. And he's speaking the Paleo. Now what? We go get Bayana from HOIDC, and he's speaking the Paleo. Writing full sentences. We go get Sabal Iwalum. What happened now? Confounded. Then we bring them in a subjection and we say, hey, this don't say the same thing in Hebrew that it's saying in English right here. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. It doesn't say that. Well, yeah, it says the same thing, but okay. And then they start questioning us, challenging us. It's like a fraternity challenge. Do you know the motto? No, bro, we're not playing that. We're going to go into these scriptures. And when we go into the scriptures with Amalek, we tear his ass up. He don't fit none of the curses. He don't even really know what's in the Bible. And then he can't justify his customs. He cannot justify his customs with the Bible. That's when they flee. But these are the people calling us anti-Semitic. But our claim is that we are the true Shemites. How are we anti-Semitic when we are the Semites? See, these are the battles that we're having in the street while y'all are playing with this truth. We out there viciously fighting and non-violent, viciously fighting for our heritage. And you just happen to be called black or a nigga in America, walking around sagging your pants, lifting up your shirt so we can see your boxers on purpose. Like y'all have completely been destroyed. And we out there viciously contending for the faith, man. Nobody can stand against. Watch our videos, man. Esau come up, we make him look like a child. And we young brothers, we make Esau look like a child when it comes to the wisdom knowledge. He can't stand against us. And y'all not making no account of our labors, like the scriptures say. All right? Well, this is the only fight that matters because it's a fight for survival. If y'all do not come together, blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics, the Native American is going to continue to have his land covered in oil. The black man is going to continue to be shot down in the street. And the Hispanic is going to continue to live in cages and have to breastfeed babies through gates. Because y'all will not unify under one banner and let the Most High Spirit move and get this devil out the way. Y'all don't believe it. That's how it can happen. But I've seen it. I'm at camp watching Edomites shit on themselves when we cut them with the scripture and show them that they don't know a damn thing. What's the last video we put? The man went through emotions. Aaron went through emotions. He went through denial, then acceptance, then he went through fear. All just from us showing them that we know the scriptures, but they tell us the Bible has no power. There's no Kemetic man anywhere that's ever made a white man feel inferior with your Kemetic knowledge. You don't give a damn about none of that pseudo. But when we show them in the Bible that we're God's chosen people, whether they atheists or they believe, they fear. They do not want us feeling and knowing that. They don't like that. We exhort you to get into these scriptures, man. I'm begging you, brothers, put your differences aside. Let them see us unified. How can there be a 1,000,000-man march? But we can't have 100-man camp. Because we can't get that many brothers together. Brothers say, oh, no, we marched. We had 800 brothers marching. We did that thing by ourselves. Right? So, why not have 10,000? Right? Because it's not about us as individuals. It's about Israel as a nation being unified. This is the goal, and we can get out of here. I truly believe it, man. That's the last thing that the Most High is waiting for. Is for brothers to come together and realize, like, yo, we the same family. That's the last thing he might be waiting for, and for us to get off this level, man. The kingdom might be within grasp. It might be within hand's reach. And the reason you can't feel it and the reason it won't manifest into our reality is because we're not brothers yet. That's disappointing, right? I'm sure if the Most High came down and told all the elders, look, the reason I haven't brought the kingdom back is because you're teaching your people to separate from brothers that are with them. You're teaching division amongst Israel instead of unity and understanding for brothers. Instead of y'all moving like judges and wise men and coming together and holding counsel. Shit. Ain't that what Esau do when they disagree? They have a Senate. Yep. We can't even do that. Brothers won't even sit together. Brothers won't even sit together. When brothers disagree, we got to curse each other out and disrespect each other. When Esau disagree with us, he want to shake hands. Well, let's agree to disagree, buddy. But when we disagree, F you, nigga. The Most High gonna kill you and your family. Whoa. What happened? What happened? I want to talk about how Esau is coming together in unity to destroy you. And it's creating a psyop right before your eyes. Can you read the article about what this New York police officer did to this sister and what was his punishment?
So the title of the article is Airbnb Terror Ends in Jail Time for Drunk NYPD Cop Who Broke into Nashville Home Threatening Resident.
So a cop broke into somebody's home and threatened the resident. Now let's read the circumstances.
A New York City police officer who broke into a Nashville home next door to his Airbnb and then terrorized the family inside, was sentenced to jail time and probation on Friday.
The man broke into an Airbnb that was next door to where he lived and terrorized the occupants. Well, he was sentenced to jail time.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what he did.
Oh, you want me to get the jail time?
Yeah, how much jail time?
Oh, wait, you didn't get to the best part.
Okay, read it, bring it up.
Halliburton. So the name of the lady who he wrote, the house he broke in, her name was Kenise Halliburton. This is something she said that happened. This is how the incident went. Halliburton, who called 911 right before Reynolds broke in, said she was in her bed when she heard a man outside of her home say, "Don't go," before he entered her house. The man later said, "Did you make her strip?" He asked that question. Once he entered the home, Halliburton said her dogs tried to bite him as he charged toward her. He kept coming down to the hall. Nothing was holding him back, she said. He was like, "This is my mother." Can I say that again?
Read.
"This is my motherfucking house." In surveillance footage with audio shared by Halliburton's neighbor, the man can be heard saying, "Try to shoot me and I will break every fucking bone in your fucking neck."
Now, this is Esau after he just broke into your house and you're defending your home. He's cursing at you like this and threatening you. And he even goes so far to say this.
He can also be heard calling the victims fucking nigger.
Read on.
Halliburton said 2 of her sons stepped in between her and Reynolds, and the only reason he left was because she told him police were on the way. The entire incident, she said, lasted just over 8 minutes.
So here it is, an Edomite breaks into your house, breaking and entering. Threatens to break every every bone in your effing neck. Terroristic threats. Simple assault. Then he calls the woman a nigger. Isn't that a hate crime?
Yeah.
Isn't that?
That's what it sounds like.
Well, if I went into a synagogue and called them some, what they are, Amalekites, according to the Bible, Ashkenazis, they would say that that's anti-Semitic, hateful slur, and I should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But apparently, you could break into a black man, black woman, black child's house and call them a nigger, threaten to break their necks. There's no hate crime. What was his punishment?
This is the first part of it. It says, Salakia. Reynolds testified that he was sorry, said he was suspended for 30 days from his job, and although he had been decommissioned, said he remained employed by the department on Friday.
So this guy's a police officer who breaks into people's houses, poor judgment, makes terroristic threats, rage, violence, calls people nigger, and he's racist. And his bosses suspended him for 30 days and let him keep his job. Wait.
There's more.
Go ahead.
Fishburne, which is the name of the judge, then sentenced Reynolds to 15 days in jail and placed him on a 3 years probation. Fishburne ordered him to report to the Metro jail within 30 days.
He had 30 days to show up for jail, and he only had to do 2 weeks. 2 weeks in a day. That was his punishment for breaking and entering, drunken, riotous behavior, verbal assault to a woman and children, and calling them a biracial slur. He was allowed to keep his job, and he only had to do 15 days in jail because they had to do something. Read on.
Reynolds said his friends told him he came home from the bar. They thought he went into the Airbnb, but instead he went next door. Later that day, the group went to dinner, and when they returned in a van, neighbor Justin Roderick was standing outside watching him. "What are you looking at?" Roderick said. Gebert asked him. "I think I'm looking at who broke into my neighbor's house last night," Roderick responded. Reynolds testified that he. Oh, so like I just read that. Where's the part where he made fun of him?
Come on, show the people. Probably up there.
Yeah, I probably scrolled past it.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until 2 Metro Police detectives got involved days later that Reynolds, who entered the Airbnb in his name, was identified as the attacker, testimony revealed. The victim and her neighbors testified when Halliburton confronted Reynolds and his friends the next day outside of the Airbnb, they laughed at her and acted as if it was no big deal.
Can I laugh and act like it's no big deal if there's a fight in Jersey City and a Jew boy gets punched in his mouth and he gets knocked down, and it was some black kids that did it? You know, he stepped on their shoes as he walked by, because those people are rude. They have no manners. And they were pushed by you, right? So they did it to the wrong guys, and the kids are defensive of their shoes, and they asked for an apology. And he said, hey, man, it's no big deal.
Well, that's more than what he said.
Right? And the black kid punched him in the mouth, right? That would be considered a hate crime, because it's a black guy punching a so-called Jew. Anything you do to them is classified as a hate crime. That's the mental psyop they have on the earth. You can't touch them. Anything you do is a hate crime. Anything you do to us is just justified because we're just niggas. Do you understand? Anything you do to a Hispanic is justified. They're just wetbacks. Anything you do to a Native American is justified. They're just savages. They don't have no country. There's no country for them. But anything you do to the so-called white Jew is considered a hate crime, right? Would I be able to stand in front of the news and say, oh man, it's no big deal? All he did was get punched in the mouth. He'll toughen up. He'll be all right. No, they'd be calling for my job. Like they are for the sister in Jersey City who called them Jew boys brutes for coming to people's houses with $40,000 in cash and buying the house, which is worth $250,000 from old people that are on Social Security that don't know what's going on. They had to make a law to stop them from doing that. Nobody talks about that. They would have long since taken all of Jersey City if that law wasn't made to stop them from doing that. So the woman called them brutes for doing that. Why? Because they would tell people, if you don't sell to us, we're going to buy the properties next to you, and the druggies and the drug dealers are going to be moving right next door to you because we're going to sell to them. She said, that's brutish. And they said that that was anti-Semitic, and they fired her from the Board of Education just for voicing her opinion. Here, you have an Edomite breaking into a sister's home, calling her an effing nigger, threatening to break her neck, and he did not lose his job. Do you see why we have to be brothers and sisters? If we don't unify as a nation, the other nations will continue to surpass us in every way. Because they already have unified to make it okay for them to abuse us and to make it taboo for them to be abused. They came together and created that. You haven't created anything because y'all will not unify. Now we have Israelite camps, organized groups of blacks, natives, and Hispanics underneath the banner of the Bible and the laws of God. And we still won't unify. Read on.
He said he was sorry with a smile on his face, Halliburton recalled. According to the neighbor, Joetta Alderson, a short man in the group, which testimony revealed is Reynolds' best friend, Thomas, DeBerth said, we are police from New York. You don't need to make a big deal about it. We were just drinking.
Oh, wow. So now back to my example. If a so-called Jew boy steps on my sneakers and I slap fire out of his mouth for not saying sorry, because they're rude, you know, move. And they'll walk through you like that. They don't say excuse me. I'm from there, bro. I know how they did. Look, One of them bought a building on my corner and never renovated or cleaned it, and it had rats and roaches. You would see the roaches outside of the building. I live on a block where we had brownstones. I swept in front of my house. We had a front yard and a backyard. It was the hood, but we kept that thing nice. But on the corner, we got this rat motel Section 8 housing that he refuses to do anything about. And there would be garbage in between the buildings because they wouldn't bring it to the street, and it would begin to blow down the street, and I'd have to sweep it. I caught one of these devils, and I walked up to him politely and said, hey, you know, it's becoming a lot of work to sweep up all this garbage. Do you think your maintenance man could sweep up the garbage in front of your buildings? Because it blows down the street in front of our houses. Do you know what he told me? Tell your people not to throw the garbage on the ground. Get out of here. I was like 17 years old. Brutes. A woman called them a brute and got fired. But they behaved like brutes. So I'm saying if they walk down the street thinking they're better than me, step on my feet, push me out the way to get by. Right. Man, I'm going to tell you a funny story. I flew to London and I was flying Virgin. My first time flying Virgin. Beautiful plane. Amalek sitting next to me. Got like 8 kids that won't stop crying. There's like 10 seats in the center. This is how the plane was built. There's seats here. There's a big center row. And there's seats here. Right? Amalek is all the way at the other end. It's 5 of them. And I'm all the way at the other end. I'm the only person. I got the aisle seat. I'm loving my seat. So that's 4 seats in between us. Right? Did I count that right? Yes. 10 seats. 5 of them. I'm 1, 4. There's 4 seats in between us. All the garbage that Amalek and his kids made on that flight. If I'm lying, yo. They gathered their garbage and took it and put it in the seat right next to me. And then got up and walked back over to their seats.
Wow.
Brutes. I didn't want to touch their garbage. I don't trust Esau. He's a filthy animal. I didn't want to touch their garbage. I got up, right? And took like one of the safety flyers and like threw all the garbage off the seat, right? And then slid it down their way and looked. And Amalek's woman was like, oh, why would he do something like that? Oh my God. Like, you dusty devil, you came and brought the garbage and put it right next to me. There was 4 seats in between us because Amalek wanted the other 2 seats for his children to stand and jump on while we're on the plane. Brutes. They think they can do whatever they want, and they will, because y'all will not be brothers. Now, look how you're treated. Esau comes into your house, calls you a nigger, threatens to break your neck, and he doesn't get fired. Does 15 days in jail so they can say he did time in jail. When you know they're going to give him a cell by himself. He's not going to be 23-1. He's going to have plenty of rec. He's going to be chilling with the COs. Commissary going to be full, so he's not going to have to eat that ham and that bread and that stale cookie. You already know this, man. It's more?
No, that's it.
This is a mental psyop, what these people are doing to make the world comfortable for them and suck for you. And the only way out of it is to become Israelites. Read.
On the stand, Reynolds said 7 people, 3 of whom are police officers, including himself, traveled to Nashville that weekend where they planned to spend several days for Gilbert's bachelor party.
Mm-hmm.
He said the night of the crime, he had been on Lower Broadway, had too much to drink, and blacked out. The only thing Reynolds said he remembered that night was speaking to a Metro police officer and identifying himself as an NYPD police officer.
Mm-hmm.
He testified that he learned about what happened from his friends the next morning. But he's basically trying to act like, yo, I was a little irresponsible. You can't just give me a slap on the wrist.
That's what Esau does. Remember the college student that raped the girl behind a dumpster? And the judge said, I don't want to send him to jail. He's young. It could ruin his life. Wow. Which one of your young sons has ever gotten that consideration? It's a mental psyop. Now, it's okay for Esau to come into your home, threaten to kill you, or kill you because I made a mistake. I thought it was my house. This is the second event where the defense is, I thought it was my house. What happened with Amber Guyver? That would be like Esau, right? God forbid. That would be like Esau walking in my door right now, right? And I can't get to my, never mind. And he comes in the door. We looking stuck. And he goes, what are you niggas doing in here? So I'm going to stand up. And he pulls his pistol and shoot me. And then he goes to court and says, oh, well, I thought it was my house. Honest mistake. You understand, right, Judge? And the judge is going to be like, I'm white. I totally understand.
I get you, bro. I did that last week.
But y'all can't get no justice because you have no unity. All the people you have working for the courts are not on your team. All the people you have working in corporate America are not on your team. All the black people that you got working in the government are not on your team. All the black people you have working in education are not on your team. All the black people you have working in sports are not on your team. All the black people you got working in music are not on your team. See? We could have been took this thing over, but we don't know how. That's what the Israelites is here to teach you. It's a mental psyop right now to make it okay for Esau to come into your home. What is that preparing you for? Martial law.
Mm-hmm. They could just bust in and do whatever they want.
Israel, it's played out. It's played out. Let's in 2020, let's find a way for all the Israelite camps to come together, just in a central location, and let's talk about our differences, and let's come to an understanding. Let's show Esau that there are righteous men. There are 7,000 men who have not bended the knee. Can we show him that? Can we show the Most High that? It's wishful thinking, man. We're going to take some questions. Or you want to say something? Oh, now. See how he gets treated after breaking into somebody's house, threatening to kill him, calling him a racial slur? Now, let's see a real court case that requires a real judge to make a real judgment. Now, watch this. When it's your people now. Let's see.
All right, so the name of this article is, he was sexually abusing underage girls, then police said one of them killed him. Crystal Kaiser.
Read the title slow.
He was sexually abusing underage girls.
Is that a crime?
Yeah.
Sexually abusing an underage girl, is that a crime? We know that Esau right now is a drag queen reading books. That's sexual abuse. A child being exposed to a transgender and an alternative sex lifestyle. That's child abuse. Is it okay for me to show an 8-year-old pornography?
No.
No. That's wrong. That's child abuse. Why is it wrong? Because you're showing sexually suggestive material to a child. Why is it okay then for a naked drag queen? Huh. Let me pull that up. Let me pull that up. Say something for a minute.
You got to pull up the article?
Yeah, you know what it is? You know what it's called?
You can go to the Washington Post.
Not this one. I want the drag queen with the child.
Oh, I don't know what that was called.
I want to show y'all something, Israel.
Can they see the screen?
I'm gonna let them see my screen when I pull it up. I don't want them to be exposed to this filth. Now, I'm just asking. If it's wrong for me to show a child pornography because I'm showing sexually suggestive material to a child, right? Mm-hmm. And they're too young for that. Why is it okay when Esau does this? Hold on, Israel. I'm going to show you something. Prepare to throw up in your mouth. Because this is disgusting. Esau is the most profane. And I still don't understand why they don't believe that the white man is Esau. He is the most profane forsaker of God. Look at this, Israel. Why is this okay? How come this is allowed? This is a child and a grown man dressed as a woman butt naked. Who's going to jail for this? You disgusted right now. Nobody, I'm going to leave this on the screen. Nobody is going to jail for this because it's white people, man. They can do whatever they want in this country and you don't get it yet. The hell, get this out of here, man. Why is that okay? Why doesn't anybody go to jail for that? Read.
Crystal Kaiser, who was 16 when she met Randy Voller, is accused of murdering her alleged sex trafficker. She faces life in prison.
Come on.
Metal cuffs strained against her ankles as she shuffled down the courthouse hallway. She passed her mother, who had grown used to seeing her teen daughter in a jail uniform. She passed the activist who saw her as a victim of child sex trafficking.
So now, a young sister is being sex trafficked. That means she has to lay down and be raped several times a day. Nobody is going to save her, and there's no might in her hand. When she finally gets the advantage and is able to escape the situation by killing her captor, which is what Esau, that's what you do when you go to war. When you have POWs, when your soldiers are in a prison camp, you don't send the SEALs to go into the prison camp and negotiate. You kill everyone. You kill all the people that are holding your brothers captive. When your POWs perform a successful coup and kill their captors and escape the prison camp, that's not a crime. They are given awards for courage. Why is it that when this young black girl killed the devil who was sex trafficking her, why is she facing life in jail? But Amber Guyver, who killed somebody who didn't do anything to her, is only getting 10 years. Somebody don't like that. Somebody had to hang up. These niggas making too much sense. Let me get off this call. Give me, Jesus, man. Give me Habakkuk 1 and 4, man. Y'all are going to learn, man. Y'all are going to learn. The longer you hate and divide yourselves, the more you have to stay in this kingdom where Esau is being a freak and a faggot, and you have to stay here. Nothing I'm saying, listen, if my words could be presented in context before a panel of our leaders and judges, nothing I'm saying is wrong or hateful. I'm giving true parallels and life experience. I haven't called for the violence against anybody. I'm just asking you to evaluate the way your country is run. And I'm asking you to look at your country's values and how you treat my people versus how you treat yours. Read Habakkuk 1 and 4.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1 and verse 4. Therefore the law is slack.
The law is what?
The law is slack.
The law is slack for you when you need justice. Come on.
And judgment doth never go forth.
And judgment never goes forth. On camera, a cop chokes Eric Garner to death using an illegal chokehold. Say illegal chokehold, Malachi.
Illegal chokehold.
Legal chokehold.
Illegal.
No. Legal chokehold.
Legal chokehold.
Now say illegal chokehold.
Illegal chokehold.
But that's the same thing as legal.
No.
No?
No.
Say it again.
Legal chokehold.
That's legal.
Right.
What's the one you said?
Illegal chokehold.
That's legal too.
No.
So what happens if it's illegal? What does it mean to be illegal?
That it's not. It's against the law.
No, it has to be okay because he used an illegal chokehold and it was not a crime.
No, it's against the law.
But illegal must mean legal.
No, it's against the law.
But if it was against the law, he should go to jail.
Yeah, he should. If it was you, you would go to jail.
Read the scripture.
Therefore the law is slack,
Come on.
and judgment doth never go forth.
And judgment never goes forth. Come on.
For the wicked doth compass about the righteous.
Because you're surrounded by the wicked. You're surrounded by them. They all around you. They hate your guts and they all around you. They everywhere around you. They surround you. They compass you. So they don't have to be held accountable for their actions. And you, instead of being surrounded by your brethren, separate yourself and your congregations. Do you see how stupid you are? Read on.
Therefore, wrong judgment proceedeth.
So something illegal gets passed off as legal. Yeah.
Both sides agreed to certain facts about both sides agreed to certain facts about what had brought them here. When Crystal was 16, she met a 33-year-old man named Randy Voller. Voller sexually abused Crystal.
Stop! Is it legal for a man that is 33 to have sexual dealings with a 16-year-old girl in the United States?
No, that's illegal.
No, it has to be legal.
No, it's illegal.
So it's a crime.
Right.
Why aren't they saying he was in? All right, read on.
Voller sexually abused Crystal multiple times.
Sexual abuse has to be good.
No.
No, it has to be because she's facing life in jail for killing someone who was sexually abusing her.
Multiple times. And he filmed it. Next sentence.
So sexual abuse must be okay.
No.
Is sexual abuse abuse?
Yeah.
Is abuse illegal?
Yeah.
So if I stop someone from abusing me, did I break the law?
Mm-mm.
In America, yes, you did if you're black. Read.
She wasn't the only one. And in February 2018, police arrested Voller in charges including child sexual assault. But then they released him without bail. Voller, a white man, remained free for 3 months, even after police discovered evidence that he was abusing about a dozen underage black girls.
If you have evidence that somebody is committing a crime, do they go to jail?
Yeah.
Wait. Evidence means proof.
Right.
Wait. Evidence means proof that someone's committing a crime. You have evidence.
Right.
So if you have evidence that someone's committing a crime, they should go to jail.
Correct.
Because it's illegal.
Right.
But it has to be legal.
Mm-mm.
Well, read that sentence again.
Voller, a white man, remained free for 3 months, even after police discovered evidence that he was abusing about a dozen underage black girls.
One. Kanor got locked up for drinking wine. I had to bail him out. His probation officer wanted to throw the book at him for drinking wine while he was on probation. He had a glass of wine at a feast day. They put him in jail. We had to bail him out because they had evidence that he did something against what. Read it again.
Voller, a white man, remained free for 3 months, even after police discovered evidence that he was abusing about a dozen underage.
He abused 12 underage girls and they left him on the street for 3 months. But they had evidence that he was doing it. Read.
He remained free until Crystal, then 17, went to his house one night in June and allegedly shot him in the head twice. She lit his body on fire, police said, and fled in his car.
Judgment. Now. Me and Malachi are the judges. The Bible says you go see the judges of your people. For Esau, what do you have to say? We have evidence that he's abusing girls against their will and raping them and sex trafficking them. That's illegal. That's rape. According to the Bible, that's punishable by death. And what did you do, young sister? I set him on fire and escaped. Did he die from being set on fire? Yes. I see nothing wrong. Judgment. Next case. This judgment.
Right.
Not in America. In America,
she gets life in prison.
She is now facing life in prison.
But before she did what she did, They had evidence
that he was
sexually abusing about 12 underage black girls. And he was free.
So you would rather her continue to be raped and wait for you to decide maybe to stop him from raping her one day and selling her body to multiple men one day? He probably beat her too, because why wasn't she free to leave? Because he probably by force made sure she didn't go anywhere. So you would let her submit to that because the evidence said he did it, but you're just not ready to arrest. I remember Pearl Harbor. We had to learn this in school. Some Japanese guys flew kamikaze into a battleship and they died. The dudes that did it are dead. Right? Don't say nothing. The dudes that did it are dead. Right? But America was still mad. They wanted justice. So they dropped nuclear bombs on civilians, burning the skin off their backs and causing retardation in their children for multiple generations from radioactive activity. Because they wanted justice, and that's what they needed to do. I remember the Twin Towers getting knocked down, which looked like a controlled explosion, especially the building next to it. But let's not get spooky. And America waging war on the Middle East to this day because of that. Because they feel that that is justice. They found Saddam Hussein, hung him, and they hunted down Osama bin Laden, killed him and everybody in the house with him, burned him, and threw his ashes in the ocean. That's what we was told. Because that was justice. So the young sister that burned the nigga alive, because Esau's a real nigga, they burned him alive for raping her and selling her. That's not justice. She has to go to jail for life. But the white boy who raped the girl behind the dumpster gets no jail time because it would ruin his life. This is America. Hypocrites. A hypocritical nation is what you serve. The only way out of this is to unify. The only way out of this is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Does everybody understand? Come. I'm actually going to end the lesson right there. Israel, you have a new moon tonight. You're supposed to eat, be merry, come together with your brothers and sisters, and have a good time serving the Most High. I recommend you do that. To everybody that's on the chat, everybody that's on the call, we got to end it right there. Esau, your kingdom is over with. We see what you are. We don't want to be with you no more. It's not like back in civil rights where you could kill our leaders and our people got scared. If you make a martyr out of an Israelite, trillions will come into the truth. It's over. The Most High has numbered your kingdom and it is finished. Y'all have been exposed as complete and total hypocrites. And we're done loving you and trusting you. We're going to be brothers with each other now. And the Most High is going to fight our cause. With that, Shalom.
Shalom. Esau, you can't get away.
He was never meant to get away.